In my last video, I discussed why I wasn't a huge fan of the GR86 and BRZ platform, but after driving the car in a simulator and in person, I purchased a 2025 limited BRZ. Today I'm going to do a 2,000-mile review so we can find out if the BRZ is a shitbox or not. Let's start with the exterior. I think the exterior looks fucking awesome. I love the lines of the car. The halo white paint looks fantastic. And as a package, I think it looks like a much more expensive car. I've even had people come up to me and ask me about the car, and they were really surprised that it was, number one, a Subaru, and both were also surprised about the relatively affordable price point. I think the interior is well engineered. There's a decent fit and finish, few rattles, nothing bad, fairly standard Subaru in my book. The one thing I really like about the interior is how accessible everything is once you fall into the seats. And yes, you fall into the seats. The infotainment system, climate control are easy to reach, and most are hard buttons or switches. It's kind of an old school vibe, like a cruise control knob is an older design, but it works well with the modern adaptive cruise control. So everything you need to drive is very ergonomic. The only thing that just doesn't work is the cup holders on the center console, although the door cup holders work well and you get used to them. Seats are comfortable and keep you in place, although they could use more lumbar support for me. I ended up unzipping the cover from the back of the seat and put in a few Scotch-Brite pads in front of the metal support. It took me 20 minutes to do this myself, and it works awesome. Highly recommended. For me, if a car supports Apple CarPlay and Android Audio, that's about all I need. I even added a cheap Amazon dongle as well, and I don't think I've had any disconnects. Contrary to a lot of folks, I think the limited BRZ Premium GR86 stereo is okay. That being said, I promptly added a Beatsonic DSP and an Audison powered sub and have been very happy with this, considering I have not swapped any speakers. The Audison sub is set up so it's easy to pull from the space if needed, and this has worked out well. Let's talk about driving the car. The steering is sharp, tight, and you can tell that the car is something special the first moment you let off the clutch and get rolling. The handling of the Subaru is also superb, and the car has sufficient power. One thing I really like about this car is how well it functions across all surfaces. It handles well in the tight stuff and eats up bumps. I honestly thought I would have to live with a harsher ride and less comfort by going with a sports car like this, but that is not the case. The manual transmission has a good feel, and although the clutch pedal engages a bit high off the floor, I think it is an easy manual to drive. I hadn't driven a manual in over 10 years and only stalled the car 3 times in 2,000 miles, all in inclines in the city. Having driven both the auto and the manual, I would say that the manual is much more engaging. I love the challenge it gives me to push myself to drive the car better and gives more control. While we're talking about the manual transmission, I often hear people say that they don't want to drive it in traffic conditions. I just don't get this. For me, when I get used to driving a manual, it just comes second nature. So it's something that I don't even ever think about in traffic or even cruising on the highway. Now onto the nannies. Oh my God, the nannies are so fucking bad. The brakes lock up just looking at another car. OMG. All joking aside, I personally think the safety features and eyesight work well. The adaptive cruise control works brilliantly. I love how you can shift the car with cruise control engaged, and it will automatically accelerate quickly when you move lanes and open up more space to the car in front of you. I also like the lane assist notifications as well. It's a good reminder that I need to pay more attention, especially when driving in the hills at a sporty pace. The emergency braking has activated a few times early on, and both times I saw what was coming and was ready to act if needed. In one example, a car in front of me swerved right, then to the left to do a complete U-turn on a 35-mile-per-hour thoroughfare. This was a total bonehead move. I was approaching this car at about 30 miles per hour, and as soon as the car turned left into my path, the BRZ applied the brakes hard. Would I have hit them? No, because I was paying attention. But if I was busy sending pics on my burner phone or focused on something else and didn't have eyesight, I could have easily hit the car. For anyone triggering the eyesight regularly, I would have it checked out. And if the system is in good working order, then there's a good chance that you are not operating your car in a safe manner and being disrespectful to other drivers around you. Road noise. It's actually pretty bad, especially with hard concrete on highways. As someone who is really sensitive to noises, rattles, squeaks in life and cars, I think this annoys me, but it's not a deal breaker. I will need to put on some all-weather tires before the fall, and hopefully that will reduce it a bit. But if not, it's fine, I guess. Gas mileage. I've seen 16 miles per gallon up to 33. It gets pretty good mileage on the freeway and shitty mileage in the city. So, what are my overall impressions? I've been really impressed with how well this car has handled the day-to-day, both on the highway and in the city. I honestly thought I would have to sacrifice a lot more than I have to with the BRZ. Heck, I even transport golf clubs and a push cart, no problem, as well as an outcast fishing raft with oars. Sure, it does take a bit more planning, but I make it work. If I take a step back from the car and look at everything, from the looks to the performance, one word comes to mind: cohesion. This car feels like it was put together by a group that was aligned on the end goal. The car needed to be better than the last car while maintaining what the first generation made great. I think the sad thing about cars like this is that most people will never have a chance to drive one. And what I mean by that is that, the average American car consumer, not speaking for the rest of the world, but the average American car consumer, they're like SUVs are comfortable, they carry a lot of stuff. But the reality of it is that if more people had the opportunity to drive a car like this, to see how a car like this can handle, how it just feels, the visceral feeling of it, I think a lot more people would drive something like this. In a crowded auto marketplace dominated by SUVs and larger vehicles, cars like the BRZ and GR86 often go unnoticed by the larger public. This is a damn shame, because if more people were exposed to them, I think there would be more happy people in the world. If you were thinking about buying one and have the funds to do it responsibly, do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.